God, thank you for giving me the opportunity to sit here and share my story. I want to ask you to bless me, bless the people who came here. What should glorify you about to show what I've done, where I've been, but just to show your power and your glory. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen.
Anyways, all right, I've been born and raised really here in Morris County. I grew up out in Fayetteville. But for the most part, I didn't drink any drugs when I was early. For the most part, my life's been a mess.
Come on, brother.
Anyways, yeah, my parents got divorced probably when I was about, right around first grade, something like that, so I never even remember them being together. But anyways, I probably started drinking, probably 12, 13 years old. And I started smoking right behind that or whatever. But I mean, it just downhill. By the time I did graduate high school or whatever, but by the time I got out of high school, I pretty much done everything that's around at the time.
Yeah.
You know, and as being an adult too, I mean, it's never really slowed down until, I don't know, about 5 years ago. I mean, it's really started to slow down, but anyways, yeah, I just recently went and spent a year out at the Lighthouse. I only had to stay there, well, actually it was a little bit longer than a year. I only had to stay there 9 months. It was a 9-month program. I graduated in 9 months, and I just like, I like my, what I call my kind of sheltered environment, you know what I mean? Because I've been out here and I've gotten so close, you know what I mean, to be living like I'm living today so many times before. I remember back, it was July 26th of 2015. You know, I just got arrested. I think this was the second time in a row that I just got arrested. And like, I don't know if you're arrested or not, but this time it felt good. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to explain or whatever. Whenever you go to jail, and it feels good because you just want this to be over. You know what I mean?
Right.
I've done this for so long, and like it's not been fun for a long time, and it just ended up being the only thing only way I know how to survive. You know, and it was July 26th of 2015, and I asked the Lord into my heart.
Yeah.
You know, up there I was in J Block in Lawrence County Jail.
Yes.
Actually, David Norris came and preached to us that night and gave me my Bible. And it was the first time I ever got an NIV or an NLT Bible or whatever. And I could actually see the difference in the stories. You know, anytime that I've been to jail, I would always pick up the Bible. Because, I was never a reader. But I would, they always say it's bad luck to come to jail and start a book and I'll finish it. You know what I mean? And so I just pick up the Bible, and this is a book that I'm not going to finish, for a long time anyway, so it can't be that bad. But it is just so hard for me, not being a reader or whatever, to understand King James. It doesn't have the story form or nothing like that. But that night, whenever I asked the Lord into my heart, when David gave me that Bible, I got the NIV, and it had the different stories or whatever. And really, I've had my ups and my downs ever since I asked the Lord into my heart. It ain't been smooth sailing. It has took me a lot of hard work, really, for almost 5 years to get where I'm at now.
Amen.
There's been a lot of backslides or whatever, but somehow or another, whatever I've done that, man, everything just has been different. It's the change of the heart, man. And whenever I asked the Lord into my heart, He really changed my heart.
Amen.
It didn't just go away right now. It wasn't everything it is. It's a period of time. And today I'm not perfect. But, that's like one of the things we say at Black House a lot is we're looking for progression, not perfection.
Yes.
But, yeah, there's so many times. I've been to jail probably 2 or 3 times since then. And I get on a good kick, you know what I mean? I go to jail and feel so good that it's over, and I get into the Word and really starting to see how I should conduct myself in the life that I got today. You know, and that would work. And I get out, I go strong for about, you know, I mean, 2 weeks to a month, maybe even 2 months before, you know, it just, things won't change, you know what I mean? You know, heck, I'm almost 40 years old, and,
right.
You know what I mean? So I've been doing this a good 25 years, and it's hard to get away from those things. You know, so I get out of jail, and I feel like, all right, bye guys. See jailers next time, you know, you know, and I wasn't doing it on purpose or whatever. So, kind of like, bye Jesus, see you next, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I mean, I didn't mean for it to be like that or whatever, but that's just kind of like how it was, you know. And anyways, so this last time that I got arrested, it was in 2017. I mean, it wasn't for much. I think I had like 6 months. Hey, I've never completed probation before in my life. I think me and my counselor counted up that I've been arrested like somewhere around 23 times. Never once completed probation, ever.
Wow.
You know,
right.
I mean, and it's funny too how the Lord puts people, you know, I mean, the Lord's timing is always right on time.
Yes.
You know, it's never a minute late or a minute too soon. And somehow or another, He knows how to put the right people in the right place at the right time.
Yes, sir.
Too, you know, but like, well, it's just like when you get arrested this last time. I was just walking down the street, man, and I walked by a house that just got popped off like 2 hours ago or whatever. And Chris Roberts, we went to school together, and you know what I mean, he see me walking up the road, and he stopped me, man, and sure enough, I had something in my pocket, and you know, I mean, Chris has always liked me too, but I remember getting to jail, and just, I mean, I know, I'm going to relax for like a month that time, but I knew it was getting, and I didn't want to live that life, you know, so when he dropped me off there, and he's walking out the door, he said, hey, Chris, hey man, I just, thank you, man, you may have saved my life, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's like, what are you talking about, Shiflett? I just arrested you, dude. And I'm like, man, no, for real. Thanks, man, because you know, you just ain't good to me lately. But, anyways, I go and I do like a month or two in jail. This is the first time in a long time I actually bonded out. I check in to Salt and Paul, you know, but I wasn't ready yet, you know. I go up there and spend about a month, and I kind of get anxious, you know what I mean? I see what's going on, and I'm like, man, I could do so much better if I wasn't here, you know what I mean? I get in church, or, you know, like I've been doing, and I go to meetings, and, you know what I mean? I don't know, I feel like I can help people, and blah, 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 and, you know, this stays on me for about a week, whatever, you know. It's just like the devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy. You know, he whispers a little lie, you got this, you know, just like the pride before Paul too. I'm like,
Amen.
all right, I got this. And same thing, it was about a month. You know what I mean? It'd fall right on my face. You know, but at the same time, it's just like I was saying, the people and the places and the timing is always just perfect. You know what I mean? Because if I wouldn't have done that, I would have, you know, like, I did end up getting put on house arrest because I went there out on bond. I got put on house arrest, and that was the first time that I've completed anything since high school except for like a jail sentence. You know, I mean, I completed my 6 months house arrest, done it correct. You know, I remember one time Emily was like, "Don't you want some free time or something?" And I'm like, No, I'm cool. I just do what I've been doing. You know what I mean? I just stick with this. It's working for me. I go to church. I go to meetings. I go to work. I don't need to do nothing else. She pushed forward. I finally took me 4 hours out. You know, but that's besides the point. I didn't do nothing. I almost got 4 more stuck in the woods. Didn't think I was going to make it home. But anyways. Yeah, okay, after the house arrest, I was doing good. I got to about a month in on this probation. pretty decent job working with a bunch of guys from a church in Seymour, putting flooring down, making decent money. And I remember I was like real sick after I came down this time, and like real sick. I won't go to the hospital for nothing. And I got through work that day, and I was like, man, I wonder if I go to the hospital, maybe they can get some relief, so, you know, we can get through the week, get some rest, blah, blah, blah. So I went to the emergency room here at the medical center. Oh yeah, this has been many ambulance rides in the last 10 years too. Straight in an ambulance, straight to Bloomington, you know, didn't really know what was going on or whatever, but until the doctor come into my room and just randomly relapsed, and he's like, well son, I just want you to know that this is in your system, and you don't gotta live for dudes, you're not gonna live. And turn around and walk out. Didn't give me no time for no explanations, no, you know, be trying to make any excuses or nothing like that. And that kind of in my head, you know what I mean? My gears grind pretty well, just thinking, man, that, you know what I mean, thinking about the time and what I've done, and my regrets, and you know what I mean, you know, plus with the touch of religion, you know what I mean, what I know what I should be doing, and you know, all that, man, turned in my head. I got two girls, two daughters that live in Indianapolis too. It is just, you know, so I sat in that hospital bed for the next 10 days or whatever. Okay, done PTR my probation. You know, just not even made it for a month. Didn't make my 6-month house arrest, not a hiccup. So after I get out of the hospital, you know what I mean, I'm starting to get better health, and at the same time, now I got 6 months hanging on my head again, trying to figure out what I can do, you know what I mean? And I don't want to do drugs, but I know, you know, and actually today, right now with the drug epidemic and all that, it is so hard to get in a rehab.
Yeah.
It's not easy, you know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, I wasn't a week out of the hospital on my deathbed and already, you know what I mean, back, I mean, like didn't know what I was going to do, just figured I'm going to die or whatever. Like, I mean, and knowing the last thing that I need to do is go do another 6 months up here in Lawrence County, you know, because we'll go in here, and no matter how good I want to do or not want to do or what I don't want to do, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to glorify drugs for the next 6 months with all my old buddies or whatever, my new buddies I'm getting now, and it's just not no good for me, you know, no matter what I want to do, it's not going to work, you know, and so like, I talked to Dave about getting in Heaven to Bay, and he had me go back and talk to Dawn because I just left Salt Paul or whatever, and it kind of, I mean, I learned a good lesson on that too, how I just like to do things on my own accord. You know what I mean? Through the drugs and this and that. I mean, I've always been a pretty good guy, but I got this manipulation, and you know, I didn't even realize it. That yeah, I do know how to just push myself right in, like you know, that I really need to be here, but I wasn't there on the right. You know what I mean? I wasn't coming how I needed to come.
Right.
You know, so somehow or another, I talked to my grandma, and that was another one of the hardest things to do. Because my grandma's been in church, she's 83 years old, works every day. And I got to sit down and talk to her about my addictions. You know what I mean? Which, it went over really well. That's super hard to do, talk to grandma that, you know what I mean, she can't believe what I'm going through anyways. And now, she's the one that helped me. She wanted to put me in a hotel room. Because like at the time, I did have a warrant out for my arrest, and we are trying to put me in somewhere, you know, knowing that that's what I need. And I don't know, man, my sister kind of picked me up on a Monday morning. I think it would have been like July 20th last year, July 21st, somewhere around there. Said, all right, come on, we're taking you somewhere. And I'm like, you got me bedded? And she's like, no, but we're gonna go take you somewhere, you know, I doubt they'll turn you away. And I'm like, okay, I'm good with that, you know what I mean? Like I mean, if they do, they do. It ain't gonna make me worse off than I was, but at the same time, yeah, I mean, the bedway out here at the lighthouse is anywhere from 6 to 9 months. I mean, for the most part, the only way you're getting a bed there is if you're locked up, and you're going to wait, you know what I mean, almost a year before you get there. I mean, the turnover rate's outrageous. But anyway, see, you know what I mean? And the other guy sitting beside him's like, just have him on with your stuff and tell him to leave. You know what I mean? I'm like, no, man, I ain't good at that. I'll let her get halfway up and have to come back and get me. I was like, I was just hanging out, man. It is what it is. You know? And then Josh Clark called me in the office. And Josh was like, you know, he's like, what all you got in your system? I'm like, man, probably just a little THC. He's like, well, you're getting ready to take urine screen. I need to know what's in your system. Well, what's in your system? Because if you feel this and you say whatever, then you're not staying. He was like, well, I think we're going to be able to let you stay. Okay, then blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? I got to give him a whole list of what could be in it. It wasn't 5 minutes later, he came back and said, yep, Shiftfoot, you're just hot for pop, man. Go take your stuff and get downstairs. You know, but I mean, that's another, you know, he just made away with it. Wasn't away, man. When I got there, there's 18 people on the floor. There are 18 of us sleeping in the meeting room floor. Then over the couch, the TV, you know, well, we got somewhere around 70 beds and they're full. I don't know how many sober living homes. You know, this is over 100 males. You know what I mean? They go through this at the program right now. Anyways, I get there and I know that's what I need. You know what I mean? So the first 45 days is pretty much the rules. Just, you know, what is it? Psalm 46:10. Just be still and know that I am God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just sit there and be still. You know, which is hard to do. Especially, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sitting here with guys that's just getting out of prison. I mean, I know at least one of us that just got out of prison had been in prison for 20 years for murder. You know what I mean? And he's coming here just, I mean, on his own accord, just because he don't want to go get back into things or whatever. He wants to get baby step back in. I mean, most of the people that are out there are facing pretty good time with prison. You know, and I mean, and that's the whole reason that I got out there or whatever. It wasn't, I mean, yeah, the 6 months, but it wasn't because I couldn't do the 6 months. I've done the 6 months. Well, I think I was coming up on, if I would have had to do that 6 months, I think I was done about 3.5 out of the last 5 years in jail. You know, so, I mean, I could handle the 6 months, but I just knew that it wasn't going to start me back off on life. You know, and, well, yeah, well, I'm a probation officer. And this is what got me there in the first place. That's what I was talking about, how the Lord puts the right people at the right time and in the right place, you know. Well, this lady, bless her heart, she's had me for like the last 3 times that I've had been on Orange County probation. I never make it very far. You know what I mean? So like anybody else, I might have been able to sugarcoat, slide through, you know what I mean? But she knows me, she knew my tricks, and she wasn't going to let me run, you know what I mean, run my game on her. So, like, I mean, I ran up out of her office one time, thought, you know, thought the police was coming because I was sitting there going in for a PTR or whatever. You know, I think she's waiting for the police to show up before she comes and gets me, so I just turn around, boom, you know what I mean? And then I call my wife and tell her what's going on, and she's like, man, you can't do that, you're doing some good. I'm like, I know, but I ain't going to go to jail right now, you know what I mean? And then, well, she talked to me to call her back. You know what I mean? So it's not enough that I just turn around, you know what I mean, signed in, whatever. She told me she'd be right back, and then bounced. I turn around, you know what I mean? I go home, and my wife, you know, me and my wife have been together for, it's not quite 10 years, but almost 10 years. But, you know, if I tell her I'm going to do something, I do it. And she told me I had to call her or go back up there or something. So I call her back up, and it doesn't go as smooth as you know what I mean, like I needed to go either. So it pretty much comes that I just laugh at her and say, okay, then I'll have a warrant out for my arrest, and I'll get pulled over in a minor traffic stop 2 years down the road from now, and I'll go do my 6 months. But I'm not coming up there right now to go do my 6 months. You know what I mean? And that's just showing where me and her was at before I got here with her this time. After I got to the lighthouse, and I did have a warrant out for my arrest, but Clark called probation, and Olivia told me on the phone that if I leave there, you know what I mean, it could be in the middle of the night. If I leave there, I got a warrant out by the time I get to the corner. You know what I mean? But that's not at all what kept me there. But but that was just the terms that we was on, you know. Whenever I come back, I come back here, I think I got off probation May 10th. I come back here and sat down with her. Okay, it was right after I finished up the lighthouse. You know, and what got me through the lighthouse, man, and actually I just realized this like a week ago. I've been kind of struggling here lately. I just got back home, and you know, I mean, it's not like with drugs or anything like that. It's just getting everything what it is, and I realized that I'm worrying about me too much. You know what I mean? That was one thing when I first got to the lighthouse and to be still was I realized that what is it? It says in Matthew 6:30. Yeah, Matthew 6:33 says, "Seek ye His kingdom and His righteousness, and all these other things be added unto you." But then it go on to 6:34, and it says, and I don't have the words right on this, but not to worry about tomorrow, because today I have enough problems with stuff just to worry about today.
Right.
You know, what kind of stuck with me in the 45 days was, you know, not okay. And then, but Philippians 3:13 is what I based my life, you know, my New Year's resolution last year was not to, pretty much not to look in my rearview mirror. I need to put some distance between me and my past. You know, I think it's Paul talking about our brothers and sisters to press on towards the prize and not to worry about where we came from.
Yes.
You know, and I put those three together, and I've just realized that the only thing that I can do is the right thing right now. You know what I mean? And as long as I keep doing the right thing right now, I mean, I'm staying obedient and I'm staying in the Word. But the Lord's been putting a beautiful path out front of me, man. Like all these things that I got going on in my life right now, and I don't deserve it. You know what I mean? I ain't been nothing but a knucklehead my whole life. So I mean, it's all him and not me.
Yeah.
But last week I was talking to Julie, and you know what I mean, about this and this and that, and she made me realize that that's why I've been struggling here lately. It is because, I mean, I do need to worry about me a little bit or whatever, you know. I just quit my job down there in Jasper and moved back home or whatever. And, I mean, I had a pretty good job, but it's just time for me to move on anyways. So I come up here and I've been worrying about me and my job and what I'm going to do, and, you know, and this and that, but really I just need to serve, man, and you know what I mean?
Amen.
Give back. And so, I mean, yeah, as soon as I realized this too, like I've been working third shift in cafe, I mean, the job's not that bad, we work every day, you know, and plus I'm back on all my tail buddies and, you know, all that is not real. I mean, I'm pretty strong right now, but that's not a great environment for me.
Right.
You know, so I got a call, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, this construction company, they even got my application from another construction company, you know, that I turned in, and it seems to look like, if it don't work out or whatever, I'll still be all right. But I'm back to day shift, I'm not working third shift, I'm not working 7 days a week, and I'm running around with a bunch of my knucklehead buddies that, you know, to be all the time, and I can't get away, you know. Anyways, the lighthouse, Olivia, the God's time, and yeah, today's just
Awesome.
Just pretty much it, man. I'm just here to get back today. Awesome. Hey, thanks. This has been great, man. That's what I based on my New Year's resolution on this year was Romans 8:28. You know, and I've been hearing that a lot around here. That, what is that? That God uses all things for the good of those who love Him. Yeah. You know what I mean? So this is a big step forward for me. This is more of the kind of things that I need to be doing. You know what I mean? It's really is a book back on New Year's resolution. Amen.
I love it, bro. Hey, what is the length of time in your sobriety right now?
Oh, right now, I think I'm coming up on 15 months.
15 months, amen? just show you, we can all face that roller coaster in life. It's not easy sometimes, but here he is, 15 months, clean and sober, no mind or mood-altering substances, man. He is doing it. I got all the confidence in the world that he's going to make it. I believe that God's going to continue to bless him and help him in his life. Brother, thank you for sharing with us today. Hey, I got a couple of guys here. Paul, come on up, man. Paul's got I want you to see the progression through the stories that you're going to hear today through the live. Paul's got a good testimony, and I want you guys to hear what he's got to share with you today.
I'd like to start with a word of prayer. Father, I thank you so much for this opportunity for me to come and share my story. It's a story that's got shame and heartache and yet joy and happiness. And just ask that you help me to present the words in the way that you want. Just help my testimony to maybe touch other people's lives too. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Yes, sir.
Well, when I was about 7 years old, I was started church. My parents began going to a Baptist church, and then we moved into a neighborhood where my brother and I, we were being picked on being the new kids, and my mom tried to defend us, and so she felt the best way to defend us would be to put us in private school. So as we was put in private school, we learned a lot. You know, it was a Christian school. But at the same time that I was learning in a Christian school, I had the neighborhood kids also that were an influence on me, and through those influences, you know, I want to read a passage of scripture in James chapter 1, verses 13 and 14. This is the New King James Version. Let no one say when he is tempted, I am tempted by God. For God cannot be tempted by evil, nor does he himself tempt anyone. But each one is tempted when he is drawn away by his own desires and enticed. You know, that tells me we're all given the freedom of choice to do what we want with our lives.
Yes.
And sometimes those choices are bad. And I made a lot of bad decisions. I was probably about 12 years old, you know, after picking up the language of all the kids and stuff, the bad words and all the things that go along with it. I smoked my first cigarette when I was 12 years old, and I must say this right now, that all those on social media, be it Facebook or YouTube, you know, this is probably going to be a PG-13 type of testimony, and I've got something to say, and I'm going to say it. So when as I became a teenager, there was more stuff that I just started to get a hold of. I was putting myself above anything else, and it's hard for me to say that, but it's the way it was. It's the truth. I began, you know, listening to the music, and by the time I was 17, I'd already done drugs and alcohol, everything that goes along with it. My wife and I, we had our first date on January 10th of '87. I lived in Bloomington, but she lived in Mitchell. We went to a person's house, and there was alcohol there, and I drank. And my wife, she never was one. I went through a do not enter sign, wound up on the other side of the highway, just sitting sideways with oncoming traffic coming towards me, and I was able to get the car and drive and take back off again and on my way. So I think that if I had been doing slower than 120, if I'd been doing, say, 70, I think that the car, when it came off of like a turnaround or roundabout or whatever, I think the wheels would have probably dug in and I would have barrel rolled. God was watching over me that day. He had a plan for me at that time. I didn't know. But I still had a lot more destruction to leave behind. My mom, she was battling depression.
Help him, Lord, yeah.
I was a big part of it. I mean, I'd be stupid for saying otherwise. I know I was a big part of that. But as she was battling that, me still being a teenager, my wife and I got married at 18, and 6 months later, my daughter LaDonna was born. Then as life, and I quit school too at 16. I quit high school, thinking I knew more than everybody else did. And as I was working at Papa John's delivering pizzas, realizing this is about the best it's going to get, I need to try to get into factory work. I tried and couldn't get my foot in the door. Finally, one time I got in a factory down in Paoli and began working there, and realized that my life was at a standstill unless I go and get my GED. By this time, drugs have been removed from my life. I didn't have drugs in my life, but I got my GED and got on at General Electric there in Bloomington, which was a good job. I dreamed of working there someday, and I worked there for about 5 years, and got laid off in 2001, and I began going to Ivy Tech because my job moved to Mexico. There was funding for that, and all my time was being consumed by the schooling. At the same time, my mom, she was still battling her depression. She had this was over the period. At this point here, it was only this was in 2001. So 15 years of depression she'd been battling up to this point. With all my time being consumed by schooling and going to the tutors, I really struggled, quitting high school, and I had a lot to learn. And then as my funding ran out, I still had 2 more semesters of math to complete. I had geotrig and I had to take physics, and so I was working full time, plus going to see the tutors, plus doing my schooling. Because I lived in Mitchell and I was driving up Ivy Tech in Bloomington, and my mom's battle ended when I was in my last semester. She took her life, and started a major downturn for myself because I was still struggling to complete the schooling. I knew that that's what she would want me to do, to persevere and get through that. And so I was battling my emotions and digging in all my schoolwork. I was working on my lunch breaks and my break times, trying to do all the math. I really struggled with it. And when I graduated, finally, that was in May of 2004. I had a boy, at this time. God wasn't in my life. I turned my back on him at an early age, and for 4 years I struggled on a downhill slide. I started smoking marijuana again to try to help ease the pain, and my wife, she didn't know it was going on, and as I battled through that, I had thoughts of suicide myself, and it's hard to stay strong when you have nothing there for a foundation to rely on. You're just full of negativity, depression. It just sets in and consumes you. I was probably able to keep it hidden from a lot of people for the most part, but it's still what's on the inside of me. And in October of 2007, my dad had a heart attack, and him and my mom had been divorced for probably about close to 10 years before this. but he had a heart attack, and as he was going through therapy, they had him on a treadmill, to walk on a treadmill, and my dad decided to ask me if I would draw him a picture. On this picture, he wanted two images. On one side, he wanted Jesus on the cross with somebody kneeling down below being anointed by his blood, and on the right side, he wanted the tomb with the stone rolled away. And okay, all right. So I went ahead, and over the next week, I started drawing it out for him, and not a big deal. It wasn't a very fancy picture, but it was still a picture, and it's the best I could do. So as I started coloring in with my coloring pencils to make it look good for him, I started coloring in that blood. And when I colored in that blood, boy, my eyes teared up. And
Yeah.
I prayed,
Yes.
and God came into my heart at that moment.
Woo.
Yeah.
And,
Yes. Yes. Hallelujah.
And 1 John 1:9, it says, if we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to forgive us our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. So at that moment there, I was forgiven.
Yes.
And boy, the power of that picture has forever changed my life. I show people, I share it to other people whenever I can, because that's my life-changing moment, when I drew that picture and colored in that blood. And with that being said, I'd like to read another passage of Scripture in John 15, verses 9 through 14. It says, as the Father loved me, I also have loved you. Abide in my love. If you keep my commandments, you will abide in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. These things I have spoken to you, that my joy may remain in you, and that your joy may be full. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, than to lay down one's life for his friends. You are my friends if you do whatever I command you. So, Jesus laid down his life for us.
Yes.
And each and every one of us, you there at home on Facebook or YouTube, every one of us, Jesus paid that price,
Yes.
the ultimate price.
Yes.
And it's just up to us to serve him. That's the choice we're given to make. After making that decision to draw that picture, that life-changing moment, that was the choice that set me on a path of positivity. All my negative thinking went away.
Yes.
Blessings just keep abounding. I've a daughter, older daughter than LaDonna, who came into my life in 2010. God brought us together, and she's given us 4 grandchildren, and it's amazing. One of them was just this last Tuesday, and that's a neat feeling to be holding that grandbaby. Life is precious, and through all the troubles and tribulations, it's been a hard road, but I wouldn't trade any of it. It's my story that Jesus and God have given me,
Yes.
and it's for me to share with other people and hopefully help them
Yes.
with what they might be going through. I have a miracle that took place last November. My dad was having surgery. He was battling cancer for about 5 years. Had been battling through chemo and everything, and they got into remission. Well, about a year ago, it came back and it was growing. And in November, they were going to try to do a surgery that his health wasn't really made for, to try to survive that surgery. They gave him a 7% chance. Well, when I heard 7, my hearing's not all that good, and I heard they had a 70% chance of survival. So I was praying over that that God would take care of him and pull him through that surgery. And later on, after the surgery, I found out he only had a 7% chance of waking up from that surgery. It was likely going to kill him, but he's pulled through, and God just keeps giving us one after the other. And I went and I quit smoking back in 2010. And since then, I've been trying to run like 5K, a couple 5K races, 4-mile race, and this thing down at Pale Peak called the Rugged Maniac, which is basically American Ninja Warrior meets a 5K. I did that a couple times, and yesterday was my second time, and I made it through it. I didn't do as good as I had hoped, but it's just neat the path that God's given me, and He just keeps blessing me beyond anything that I deserve. So I want to praise God.
Amen, brother. Amen. Thank you, brother. Yeah.
I hope that I can share this with Paul being here. If you are battling depression, if you find yourself needing someone to talk to, and you think, well, nobody understands. He understands. He understands what it's like. He's faced that, battled that demon with his mom and in his own life, and yet through the glory of God, here he stands today, victorious. Amen. Paul, be happy to talk to you. Be happy to talk to you. Help you do that. Well, got one more guy that's going to share with us this today. I kind of killed time at the onset of service so that we could get him here, because did you find your Bible, brother? They already know. No? Oh, man. Okay, well.
I just hope whoever finds it reads it. I want to keep it the can.
All right, amen, brother. You will come and share with us? All right. Well, Brother Bill New. He's my wild man. Check him out.
Wow. Yeah, in my haste to get here this morning, as I was getting in the car in the garage, I put my Bible on top of the car and went, oh, I got back in the house. I laid up there and went back in the house. Yeah, that's where I left it. So, anywho, I don't know how to follow these two guys here. I don't, because my story's not like that. It's really emotional just to be up here. Because of my parents. Every time the church doors opened up, which I'm guessing Dad was there to open the doors every Sunday morning, Wednesday evening. Any other time something else was going on, we were there. He drove the church bus. He was a deacon. And that's just what it was. We were church people.
Yeah.
Until I think I was 17. And Mom came in to wake me up because I didn't like to get up. And said, time to get up and go to church. Let's get up and get ready. I said, Mom, I don't want to go.
Bless him, Lord, yeah.
She said, okay. At the time, it didn't hurt me. But what hurt me was the disappointment around it. Because it was there, I saw it. And that's something that I've never forgotten. Was that look on her face. But, growing up in church, we were just, some of you kids, somebody pick up a hymnal. Somebody pick up a hymnal and give me a title. This is what we used to do as children.
I'll fly away.
In the bathtub. Give me another hymn. In the bathtub.
Leaning on the everlasting arms.
In the bathtub. That's how church was for me as a kid. And I know we should Reno, you have them laughing. Or I'll have them laughing, and then you're going to get mad at them. But that disappointment in her eyes when I turned my back. And she never said much anything else after that. I would go on occasions, special occasions, Easter, Christmas, when Mom really asked me to, I'd go. But then after she died, I didn't go at all. At all. Dad was still going to church. I was running the bars. Every morning when my feet hit the floor, it was a party. Who's going to find the reason? We didn't have to have it. It was Tuesday, let's party. And the beer, and the booze, and the weed. And that was my life for most of from my mid-20s to into my 30s. That was my life. You'd find me in a bar somewhere at 3 o'clock in the morning, last one out the door, head to Taco Bell, should have been. And I'm not, you guys, you've been in. I just never got caught. And a lot of times I should have been caught. And that might have been good for me. Might have been bad. I don't know. But
It's always good not to get caught.
it's always good. You're right. You're right. But then something kept tugging at me. I'm a male man woman because I walk around my earbuds and listen to music. And I love these old hymns. I don't put it in the bathtub behind the tile anymore. But I love these old hymns. And I'm listening to them on my earbuds. And the conviction come down on me in the middle of 8th and Washington and Bullington. That was an intersection. Walking across the street. And it hit me and I thought, well, this is it. This is it. You're calling me back, I'm going to go. And like every other time that's happened, it lasts for a couple of weeks. See a band's playing somewhere, I'm back in the bar, we're back to square one. And that's the way it was for years and years. But this time it was just a little bit different. Because when it started to go away, I said, no, I'm not turning my back on you, kid. I can't, my life depends on it. And I thought, I'm going to find me a church. And I got looking around, and I see Reno online every morning. And I need to apologize to you, because when I first heard you were preaching, just like everybody else did,
Right.
old minds, and I'm sorry. But I got to tell you, but I thought, I'm going to go. I'm going to go to Momentum, loving people right where they're at. And I've had nothing but love since I've been here. But what got me in this door is watching my 2 younger children, Leo and Wiley. I watched Wiley get baptized down at their church. And it hit me. These kids have come to God. And they're dragging me with them. Praise God.
Yes.
Praise God. It doesn't normally happen that way. After being raised in church, now my kids are bringing me back to Christ.
Yes.
Bringing me back to Christ. But that first Sunday I left here, I got home and got on my knees. And I cried out, and I cried out, and I cried out. And things were better.
Yeah.
Things were better. So, I don't have that story of addiction. I have that story just flat out turn my back on God. And I hated it. My life was shambles. Just shambles. Because I never got attacked when I wasn't with God. Because the devil already had me. He already had me. So why attack something he already got?
Right.
He didn't need it to.
Right.
Now, I struggle every day. Every day I struggle. Like losing my body. This morning, everything under the sun has happened this morning to keep me from coming up and doing that.
Yes.
Almost got me. And I thought, no, not going to happen. Because when I told you, I had a message. And I don't have it. I still don't have it with me, but I've got one. He said, you're going to be miserable until you do.
Right.
Well, I'm hoping this year will relieve some of that misery. Because I am miserable. Because I have to do what God tells me to do.
Yes.
And I didn't for so many years.
What's he tell you to do? What does he tell you to do?
Well, I'm doing.
But seriously, not being mean, not being rude, you just said that God spoke to you or told you what to do. With some reference to God, I'm not sure exactly. I'm asking a question. What does God ask, require, or tell you?
I'm not sure I'm getting the question, Rick. But he laid a message on my heart. And I studied, got it all wrote out. I was going to give part of it today. But I don't have my Bible with all my notes in it. But I'm still not going to let that stop me from coming up here and telling my story and praising our God.
Amen.
I can't. 2 Samuel 22:7 is what hit me the most that first day when I left here. And I looked it up and I read it again and I read it. And it says, in my distress I called upon the Lord and cried out to my God. He did hear my voice out of my voice. He did hear my voice, and my cry did enter his ears. When I cry out for everything, good, bad, being a big, dumb, stupid head, I had some things happen at home and it left me in an uncomfortable situation. And it almost got me mad. It almost got me mad. But instead, I decided to thank God for what I got instead of what just happened. And that was hard. That was hard to do.
Right.
But everything you do, you have to cry out to God for the thankfulness. No matter whether it's good or bad, we still have to do that. Because He deserves it. I mean, will Christ not take it to God?
Right.
Would He fail to take anything to the Heavenly Father?
Right.
No, that's the throne of grace.
Right.
And it's only by grace that we are saved.
Right. Right.
You know, there's some days I need to sit at the foot of the cross and wonder how I'm saved at all.
Right.
Because of what goes on. But He's got me. He's got me. He's going to keep me.
Yes.
I'll not turn my back on Him again. Because one of these days He's going to split that eastern sky.
Right.
And there's going to be crying out. It's either going to be distress or it's going to be praise.
Right.
And I'm going to be praising Him when it happens.
Amen. Amen, brother.
All that, man.